So Ryan Garcia's B sample has come back positive for ostarine.
Hey, I'm not surprised, motherfuckers.
Judging by the fact that he sent his hair away to get tested, it didn't seem like he was too confident in his B sample coming out clear. I'm going to read through an ESPN article here to just give everybody all the facts, and then I'll give my thoughts on the situation. Star boxer Ryan Garcia's B sample returned an adverse finding for the banned substance ostarine on Thursday per a sports medicine research and testing laboratory reviewed by ESPN. The A sample, which was collected the day before and the day of his upset win over Devin Haney last month, returned an adverse finding for ostarine May 1st. Ostarine is a selective androgen receptor modulator that attaches to proteins in the body and effectively signals for muscles to grow. It is used to aid performance by helping athletes build muscle mass and enhance their rate of fat loss, as well as to increase stamina and recovery ability. Ostarine has been on the World Anti-Doping Agency's banned list since 2008 and in 2022 was listed as an anabolic agent by WADA, whose rules mandate that when urine samples are collected, they are divided into A and B bottles to safeguard against lab error. I don't know where the adverse finding came from, Garcia told ESPN on Saturday in Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, hours before he was ringside for Alexander Usyk's heavyweight title win over Tyson Fury. Honestly, bro, I don't. I was taking ashwagandha, D3, omega-3, just normal stuff. I don't know what ostarine is. I have seriously no idea. I would tell everybody the truth. My whole thing is I'd rather tell the truth than try to fabricate it with a lie, because lies don't stand. So if I really did take it, I would be like, honestly, I was going through a weird situation. I wasn't really that confident. I chose to take it. I'm sorry, and that's it. But I didn't, and I hate cheating. All I can say is legal team help me figure this out. Darren Chavez, part of Garcia's four-member legal team, told ESPN a formal hearing with the New York State Athletic Commission will be set to absolve Garcia of any wrongdoing. Soon after being notified of his positive test, Ryan voluntarily had his hair collected and shipped to Dr. Pascal Kintz, the foremost expert in toxicology and hair sample analysis. Chavez said the results of Ryan's hair sample came back negative. We are certain that one of the natural supplements Ryan was using in the lead up to the fight will prove to be contaminated. We are in the process of testing the supplements to determine the exact source. The commission issued a statement Thursday saying the matter is still under review. The commission strictly prohibits the use of performance-enhancing drugs and works vigorously to uphold the integrity of the sport and maintain a level playing field. The statement said where the violations are found, the commission will take action. If Garcia, 25-1, 20 KOs, and his team can indeed prove to the commission that there was a supplement contamination, then the 25-year-old could be cleared. Otherwise, he faces suspension of his boxing license along with fines. Garcia, who floored Haney 3 times in the majority decision win, lashed out at Victor Conte, who works with Haney as a sports nutritionist and performance advisor. This dude that's defending Devin Haney is the biggest cheater in sports history, Garcia said. You can't make this up. Conte, the founder of Bay Area Laboratory Cooperative Balco, served time in prison after pleading guilty to conspiracy to distribute performance-enhancing drugs before founding SNAC, a sports nutrition company. Ryan Garcia has called me lots of horrible names recently, Conte told ESPN. However, the scientific process was upheld and both of his urine B samples came back positive for ostarine. The strict liability rule will now apply and he will likely be fined and suspended from boxing. I hope Ryan's behavior will serve as an example of how not to act in times of uncertainty in regards to pending drug testing results. The world of boxing deserves to be respected as a sport. It's been tough, Garcia said. I know I've been talking a lot, but alone it's been hurting me a little bit and I've been sad and I feel like crying. I even feel like crying right now because it's just like they're taking my greatest victory away. But again, leave it in God's hands. At the end of the day, I just feel like I try to fight for my innocence every day, man. I've been giving them the facts about what they're doing and how it ended up being a positive the day before and the day after. I know I will find a way to fight, Garcia added regarding a possible suspension. If I got to go to a different country to fight, I will. I just want to be in the ring. I'm in my prime. I feel good. I feel strong. So, like I mentioned at the start of the video, he has sent his hair away and it's been deemed negative, but at the same point in time, it's like, you can get all the negative hair tests that you want. If both of your urine samples tested positive for this thing, it's quite obvious that it was in your system, regardless of how it got in there, or like whether you took it or whether it was in one of these tainted supplements, which has happened before. It's happened plenty of times in many different combat sports, not just boxing. But same point in time, it like your performance along with these 2 failed tests does start to raise questions. It definitely doesn't raise a question of, like, the loss being taken off Haney's record. because there was some news stories a week or two ago about him sending a lawsuit to the New York State Athletic Commission saying that he wants the result completely overturned and a win to go in his favor instead of just having the win taken away from Garcia. In my opinion, the right way to do it is, take Garcia's win away, but you still have that loss on your record. You don't get to take that away. It wasn't just that you got like slightly outpointed, like you got mauled. And everybody knows that. And it's only going to hurt your image if you continue with this behavior of, oh, no, I need to have my O back. It's like, no, you lost it, plain and simple. Because if we're going to look at it objectively and, with all of the facts, Garcia Garcia passed numerous drug tests in the lead up to the fight and has never popped dirty for anything before. So it seems very strange that the two samples that were taken the day of, or the day before and the day of the fight, were positive for something. And it's been stated by numerous people that know what this substance is, that taking it that close to the fight is not going to give him any performance enhancement in any way. So at the end of the day, Garcia probably does the same thing to him regardless of whether he's on these substances or not, because as I just stated, him taking it a day before the fight doesn't make any sense to actually give him any performance enhancement. I'm glad that I waited a couple of days before jumping onto this, because there's been a couple of different reactions to this. Obviously, we have a statement from Ryan Garcia's legal team, which reads, Ryan Garcia is committed to clean and fair competition and has never intentionally used any banned substance. Soon after being notified of his positive test, Ryan voluntarily had his hair collected and shipped Dr. Pascal Kintz, the foremost expert in toxicology and hair sample analysis. The results of Ryan's hair sample came back negative. This is consistent with contamination and demonstrably proves that Ryan had not ingested Ostarine over a period of time, the only way he would have had any advantage whatsoever in the ring. Ryan has voluntarily submitted to tests throughout his career, which have always shown negative results. He has also tested negative multiple times leading up to the fight against Haney. All of these factors, combined with his ultra-low levels from samples taken on April 19th and 20th in the billionth of a gram range, point to Ryan being a victim of supplement contamination and never receiving any performance-enhancing benefit from the microscopic amounts in his system. We are certain that one of the natural supplements Ryan was using in the lead-up to the fight will prove to be contaminated and are in the process of testing the supplements to determine the exact source. Then a couple of hours ago, we have Bill, my baby, Haney, calls for a lifetime ban from boxing for Garcia. Clearly, there's nothing that you can do with this guy but get him out of the sport, he told TMZ. It's a terrible thing. It's a terrible thing for sports in general. It's a terrible thing for boxing. Now, I haven't read or listened to the entire interview because I can't stand listening to Bill Haney. I couldn't stand listening to him before the Garcia fight, and he's become even more insufferable since his son lost. Like, just take a back seat, please. No one wants to hear your voice, see your face, anything like that. All fathers in boxing, just go away. Let your son do it. Just because you couldn't do it, there's no reason to live vicariously through them. Like, I'm speaking to Haney, Bill, my baby, Haney, John Fury, Teofimo Lopez Sr., and anybody else. Just sit in the crowd, enjoy your son's performance, talk to him afterwards. Just leave it alone. Anyway, then in an interesting development, it also seems like, from Devin Haney's words, that he hasn't been paid by Oscar for the Ryan Garcia fight. Just a random tweet here, maybe it was like a day or two ago, it says, Oscar, bitch ass, hasn't answered the phone for weeks. Bitch, I'm calling about my money. So he hasn't really elaborated on that, and if anything comes up in any more detail in the next couple of days, I'll do a video on it, but it seems like not only has he had to go through all of this stuff with, his image, not only has he had to go through all of this stuff with, like, the loss, then obviously how he's dealing with that, then the whole drug testing thing, so it just would have been media non-stop, and then to not be paid on top of that, which I'm not surprised. Oscar probably blew it up his nose and is being chased by that many dealers that he doesn't really have the time to give Haney any money. But they live in the same neighborhood, according to a photo they seen a couple of weeks ago. Like, just go to his house, man. Or, you'll see him out and about. Ask him for your money then. But very weird circumstances if he hasn't been paid. It's not uncommon in boxing, but you'd think for a fight of that magnitude that kind of thing would be organized pretty far in advance. So, to summarize the story, like I said, Garcia's pop dirty. He sent hair samples away. Hair samples aren't going to make a difference. If his team can somehow prove that one of the natural supplements he took were tainted somehow, like they were made in the same kind of factory as some actual banned substances, then maybe he's going to get away with it. But at the same point in time, we've seen this before, very recently, especially with Conor Benn getting back in the ring after being banned by the BBBFC. Worst name, hate it. Please change your stupid ass acronym to something that's like, just sounds like you're trying to start a motorbike while you're talking about it. Anyway, we've seen it recently, so it's not to say that we won't see it again, especially with this upsurge of events in Saudi Arabia. Who's to say that if he cops a 2-year ban, he's not just going to go and fight over there? Remains to be seen. Anyway, like I said, any more news, I'll keep you guys updated. But in the meantime, like, subscribe. Thank you for watching the video, and I'll speak to you guys soon. Podcast on Apple and Spotify.